You have a duty to become unfathomably successful. Now, if you don't know who I am, my name is Damien Alvarez. I am on a self development journey and I share my experience here, so hopefully you can get something out of it as well. So, in this video today, we're going to be talking about how to make your first 10K online. Now, there's no course here. There's nothing I want to sell you at the end of this. There's no secret sales pitch. I'm just going to tell you my framework that I use to make my first money online, and hopefully you can get some value out of it too. Now, before we get into it, I know I don't have any sheets on my bed right now, but that's just because they're washing. I promise I'm not a freak that sleeps with no sheets. They're just in the washer right now. Anyways, getting into the video of today. So you hear a lot today on social media if you're around the self-help and self-development niche of the internet, I guess you can say, about this laptop lifestyle or working when you want, 2 hours a day, etc., etc. But everyone at the end of their videos just tries to sell you their course on how they do it. There's really no instructions online on how to do that. So I want to give you my framework today. Now, I'm not no millionaire. I don't have this weird laptop lifestyle, nor do I really want that. But I have made $23,000 online since starting my online journey in January of 2023. So I can't tell you how to become a millionaire. I can't tell you how to live on a beach in Cancun, but what I can tell you is how to make your first 10K online because I've been there and I've done that. The first thing I want to address is that the average life nowadays is not so average anymore, right? Average a couple of years ago or a couple of decades ago was go to school, go to college, get a good degree, get a nice job, and then you graduate, find a good job, and then you have your, white picket fence, you have your dog, you have your couple kids, you have your wife, and that can sustain you. Nowadays, if you follow that same path, everything is so expensive nowadays that you are almost guaranteed to be miserable. So your parents probably told you, do good in school, go to college, get a degree, get a good paying job, and then climb the corporate ladder. Now, while that's is still definitely an option if you want to pursue that, I don't think it's not the only option anymore at this point in time, right? There's a lot of different options, a lot of money to be made online, and right now is the biggest boom of the internet that we've ever seen. And I think that if you don't capitalize on it now, you're gonna miss out forever. But this is not your parents' fault, right? They never had malicious intent for you. They were not trying to misguide you. They were just telling you what worked for them, kind of what I'm doing here now, and it did work for them. It was working 30, 40 years ago, but now it's just not the same anymore. If you see a lot of people nowadays that work their corporate jobs and they're just absolutely miserable, they don't have enough money to ever do anything. They go on holiday or they go on vacation once a year, and that's just not the lifestyle that everyone wants to live, right? So there's this new thing called the internet. I don't know if you've heard of it, but there's a lot of money to be made online if you can capitalize correctly. Now, a common objection that we hear is that online entrepreneurship is risky, but I would argue that going the regular path is even more risky. When you get a job at a corporate enterprise, they don't really give a fuck about you at the end of the day, right? If you were to get sick or have a family member pass away, you have to take some time off. Sometimes your corporate people won't even give you the time off to do that. There's no stability, even though people say it's the most stable path, having a solid income, getting paid every week or every 2 weeks. They will drop you at the blink of an eye if you ever do anything wrong or if you see something wrong online that they don't like. Learning how to decentralize your income and learning how to make money online through things that you like to do is ultimately the safer path in my opinion. Now, another thing I hear is that I can't be a business owner, I'm not a leader, I'm not an entrepreneur. You don't have to be. You don't have to be a super tech savvy person. You don't have to be a renowned business owner to make a little bit of money online. I'm nowhere near where I want to be when I've already made, $23,000 online in a year. So if you were to add $23,000 into your salary this year, what would that look like for you? You don't need to be Jeff Bezos. You don't need to be Mark Zuckerberg to make money online. You just have to have a skill that people are willing to pay for. I think that if you can't find the motivation to make a lot of money online for yourself, you owe it to your parents and you owe it to your family. Like, that's one thing that keeps me motivated all the time is that I just think about how miserable the lives of my siblings and my parents are, and it just drives me to get better every single day and to learn more things and to keep going and keep pushing. Even when it sucks, even when it's hard, it keeps me going. Your parents, I'm not sure how you grew up, but the way that I grew up is my parents started having kids when they were very, very young. They had me when they were 22 years old, and they already had two before me. So they never got the chance to capitalize on new opportunities in their life. Once they started having kids, they were pretty much just stuck in that same path. So given that I have the opportunity and the self know-how that there is money to be made online, I definitely want to do everything in my power to capitalize on it. I can't imagine, you know, me being myself and living the rest of my life in a corporate job, just scraping by every single day and not being able to provide for my family. I think it's intuitive that every man wants to do that. And if you're just stuck in your job right now and you're not doing anything to make a side income or to figure out a way out of that path, I think that you are going to live a life of misery. So that's definitely not what I want to do. I don't think you want to do that either. Now, there is a huge shift happening in the world at this point. There's a lot of online businesses popping up all over the place, and there's a huge opportunity for you to make a lot of money online if you just focus for the next couple of years of your life and learn some skills that people are willing to pay you for. With the introduction of the internet, the entire marketplace across all industries was essentially globalized overnight. You can reach people across the world at any time of day, shoot over an email, talk to people across the world, which was not possible before the internet. So there's definitely a huge opportunity for you to learn how to do something, offer that to people in the right way, and make a lot of money online. Now, if you're anything like me, you probably think that all of this make money online stuff is a scam. Rightfully so. But I have to say that since making my first couple $1,000s online, the stuff that people are putting out there online is not always a scam. Now, there is a lot of scams out there. You have to be very cautious, very careful as to where you put your attention and your money. But if you watch someone's content for a long time and they put out real value for you, the chances that their program is a scam or they don't really know what they're talking about is very, very low. And if you're good at judging humans, you're good at, sniffing out people's true intentions, it shouldn't be that hard to differentiate a scam from a real thing. Making money online is definitely not a scam. There's a lot of people doing it. You can just look up people like Sam Ovens, Russell Brunson made all their wealth online. Iman Ghazi in the agency space. A whole lot of people have made their wealth online, and you definitely can too. Now, here's Online Business 101 for you. Online business is just a value exchange. That's all it is. You have something that people want, and they have money that you want. If it makes sense in the middle of the deal, then it gets done. That's all it is, right? So the next logical question that follows after that is, how do you find a product or service that's worth it to people? So now I'll get into exactly what I did to make my first couple $1,000s online. So now I have 6 steps that you can follow to make your first $10,000 online. Now, like I said, I'm no millionaire. I don't really even know what I'm doing yet. I'm still learning every single day, but I have made $23,000 online in a year. Which is nothing to really scoff at, right? So now this is not going to be easy and it's not going to be fast. No matter what these people tell you, there's no way you're going to make this stuff in a couple months. I'll be honest, if you don't have an entrepreneurship background or you don't have any business acumen, there's no way that you can sustain a reliable income like that online in just a couple months. It's going to take you a few years to get going. Even me, it took me 11 full months to even hit 10,000 in net revenue. That wasn't even profit. Right? So it takes a long time. It takes a lot of focus. The main thing that you're doing in the beginning is just learning. You're failing at things. You're figuring out what works, what doesn't work, so you can iterate on the next round and hopefully do better next time. Now, that being said, I hit my first 10K in revenue in December, and since then, I've made over double that. So the exponential nature of online business is real, it's extreme, and I'm only going up at this point. So, and if your first thought here is, oh, it's going to take too long, I can't really do that, what is your alternative? What is it? You're going to stay in the same job that you have. You're going to learn no more skills, and you're just going to stay on the same linear path that you are. Like the time's going to pass either way, so you might as well do something to fill that time that can make you a lot of money in the next few years. Now, the first step I have for you, you need to learn a skill set that allows you to directly generate businesses money. Once you have this skill set, you can offer it to businesses, generate them more revenue for free, and then take a cut of the revenue you generate. It's the most streamlined way for a business owner to allow you to work with no experience, because you're telling him that you can generate him this much money and you just want this much money for doing it. It's very simple. So now you're probably wondering, oh, what skills can I use that directly generate business's revenue? Well, I have a list for you. So you can do paid ads, which is what I did. You can do appointment setting. You can do conversion rate optimization. You can do funnel building, copywriting, or you can be a remote closer. That's just a few things you can do to directly generate businesses money. Now, you'll probably notice that all these things feed into each other, and that's true. But at the beginning, you want to focus on one thing that you can get really, really, really good at. Now, for me, my story, what I did is I started running Facebook ads for local businesses, the common SMMA model that everyone does. I still run that today. I still service a couple clients doing that. But what I did was I learned how to do Facebook ads. I learned about marketing. I learned about sales, a foundational level, and then I signed clients for really, really, really cheap. Okay. So what I did was I got clients on, I gave them 4 weeks of free service. I was doing it completely for free because I really just wanted the experience and I wanted the real world feedback of actually doing it. After these 4 weeks, I would charge my clients $500 a month, which is insane because now I charge a hell of a lot more than that and I do a lot less work because I know what I'm doing. But at the beginning, all you're looking for is someone to give you enough trust and enough faith to perform the service that you know you can do based on the courses and the self-education that you did on that service, for you to get real world feedback on what you're doing, and so you can get better and improve. So eventually I bumped my prices up to $1,000 a month, and then I went to 1,500. And now what I do is I work on a pay per appointment model. Now, the second thing I have for you is you want to learn the basics of marketing. You don't have to be a guru. You don't have to be an expert on marketing. You just have to know the basics. And here is the basics, right? The number one thing I can tell you about marketing is that people only buy when you alleviate pain. When you can solve their problems, when you can help fix something in their life that they're struggling with, they will pay you to do whatever you're saying. You have to position all your marketing with that in mind. You don't want to talk about features of your service. You don't want to talk about you as a person. You want to talk about how you can solve someone's problem in every single thing you do. Whether that's through, if you're calling someone, pitching them on the phone, running paid ads, doing content, anything you're doing, you want to position your service as a solution to their problem. Value is created when pain is alleviated. Drill that into your mind. If you got a pen and paper, write that down. Value is created when pain is alleviated. It's the number one rule of marketing. Now, if you want to learn more about this through reading, which is I recommend, I have 3 books for you. You can read Alex Hormozi's $100 million Offers and $100 million Leads, or you can also read The Ultimate Marketing Plan by Dan Kennedy. Those are 3 great books for you that will get your footing in marketing. Now, the third thing I have for you is you want to learn the basics of sales. Now, I'm not an expert at sales, never claimed to be. Honestly, I've probably failed more sales calls than I have closed, but from what I've learned in my time doing sales in the real world is that you just want to help the person, right? You want to make sure that your service or your product is a good fit for that customer, and you want to genuinely want to help that person. The number one sales hack that I hear across the whole industry and across all the people I listen to about sales, and it's true, I follow it myself as well, is that conviction will beat your sales talent. If you truly believe that your product or service is good for that person and you can really help them out, the conviction in your voice when you talk to them will trigger them to buy whatever you have. Right now, you can't really fake conviction. That's the thing. So you have to actually have a good service. You have to believe in yourself, and you have to believe that you can do what you're promising. But once you get that down pat, you will be unstoppable. Now, you really shouldn't be selling things that you don't have conviction in anyways. I don't know why you would want to unethically sell things to people that they don't actually need, but that's just to be a given. Now, let me paint this picture in your head a little bit further. If you were to be able to time travel back to yourself in 2009 when Bitcoin was first invented, how would you go about selling yourself on the idea of Bitcoin? That is the level of conviction you want to have in your service. So if you don't have that level of conviction in your service, get better at the service, right? You need to be selling things that are helping people out. You can't be scamming people. You can't be scumming. You can't be unethical. Now, step number 4, you need to research businesses or business models that can benefit most from the service that you're learning. Now, a lot of the skills that you can learn to make money online are applicable across many industries, but there are certain skills that match up better with certain industries. For example, you don't really want to be doing conversion rate optimization for a landscaping company, right? You want to be doing that for more of an e-commerce, e-learning platform, because they just get more benefit out of it. Now, while it can work for other types of businesses, you want to put yourself in the highest leverage vehicle possible off rip, just so you have the most chance of success in the beginning. So another thing to consider here, you want to only be selling one thing to one customer. Now, there's this common saying in marketing, if you're talking to everyone, you're talking to no one. And what that means is that if you're offering a bunch of different services and a bunch of different skills to a bunch of different people, no one feels like it's really for them. When you only offer one thing for one person, those people feel like it's only for them, right? Even though the service can be used across many different industries, that person that you're trying to sell to feels like it's only for their industry, which is the best position to be in. Now, keep in mind that you never really know exactly what industry can benefit most from your service until you try. So no one really knows the answers of all this stuff. The only person who knows the answer is the market, right? So go to market, test it. If it doesn't work, come back, iterate, and try again. Come back, iterate, try again. You got to keep trying things until you find one that works. Now, step number 5, you want to offer your service to businesses on a commission-only basis. Now, this may seem counterintuitive to what you hear online. You shouldn't offer results-based at the beginning, but at the beginning, you're not really trying to make that much money. You're just trying to learn, right? If you go to a business owner and say, hey, I'm going to charge you $5,000 a month for this service, but I really have no idea what I'm doing, they're going to be like, what is wrong with you, bro? Of course I'm not going to do that. But if you go to them and say, hey, I don't want any money, I don't want to take anything from you, all I want to do is provide value, make you sales, make you money, and I want a piece of that. They're way more likely to work with you on that basis than if you're trying to charge a lot of money up front. Now, at the beginning, you will not make a lot of money. That's just a hard truth, right? Offering commission only when you barely know what you're doing it seems counterintuitive, but I promise it's the best way to go about it, because you're more likely for people to sign you on. You're just looking for the real world experience. You're looking for real clients. You're looking for real feedback. And the only way to do that is if you sign clients. Now, step number 6, and the most important one here, You need to pay attention and you need to iterate on what is or isn't working. This is the most important thing. You can't just go out there, try things, and if you fail, just say you failed and try it again and do the same thing over and over and over again. You need to see what's working, you need to see what's not working, and you need to make educated decisions based off of that. This is where most people stumble and fail. They look at these things online, they find a few YouTube videos teaching them how to do this service, say Facebook ads, and when it doesn't work, because ultimately it won't, you have no idea what you're doing, they just assume that it doesn't work at all for anyone. To think that Facebook ads doesn't work just because you couldn't get it to work is absolute insanity. Think about how crazy that is. But you need to figure out what's working. You need to see what's working. You need to get real feedback, and you need to iterate on what is or isn't working for you. The only way to get better at something is to suck at it for a long, long, long time. Like I said, I didn't make real money from Facebook ads until 11 months of trial and error with it. It took me a super long time to actually make some real money with it, but that's okay because those 11 months where I was learning and failing and making a little bit of money are now what propelled me to make double that in the past 3 months. So now a life hack here, you need to pay attention to what your clients are complaining about. Ultimately, they will complain about some things, whether that's your communication, your service delivery, the service in general. They're going to complain about some stuff. You need to take that with a grain of salt. You need to see why they're complaining about those things and how you can fix it. If clients are complaining to you, that means that they're not posting about you online and writing bad reviews on your website, which is the best thing that can happen for you. Right? If they're giving you direct feedback as to what they want, you need to take that with a grain of salt, internalize it, figure out how to solve it, and apply that to your entire client base. It's paramount. So that's pretty much it. Essentially, all you have to do is find a skill, find people that want to buy that skill, and sell it to them. So if you commit to doing this for the next year of your life, I promise you will be able to make your first money online and hopefully live a life of freedom. So if you like that, I wrote a full article on this. I'll put it as the first link in the description. But follow me across all social medias at Damien Alvarez, and I will chat with you guys next time.